A respected doctor became America's deadliest prescription drug kingpin. This is how the FBI hunted him down. Dr. Marcus Holloway had once been everything a patient could want in a physician. Board certified in internal medicine, respected in his Virginia community, trusted with the most vulnerable lives. But by 2019, federal investigators had uncovered a shocking truth. Dr. Holloway was running one of the largest illegal prescription drug operations on the East Coast. The scale of his criminal enterprise was staggering, operating fake clinics across Virginia, Maryland, and North Carolina. Holloway had written over 100,000 fraudulent prescriptions for opioids like OxyContin, Percocet, and fentanyl. Patients would travel hundreds of miles, paying cash for appointments that lasted mere minutes. No medical exams. No legitimate diagnosis. Just pills. Deadly pills that fueled the opioid crisis, claiming thousands of American lives. Federal prosecutors would later calculate that Holloway's operation generated over $15 million in illegal profits. But the human cost was far worse. At least 47 people died from overdoses directly linked to pills prescribed by Holloway's network. Among the victims, Sarah Chen, a 22-year-old college student whose death would spark the investigation, a mother of 3 from Richmond, and a military veteran struggling with chronic pain. When DEA and FBI agents raided Holloway's primary clinic in Richmond on March 12, 2019, they expected to find the doctor dispensing his deadly prescriptions. Instead, they discovered empty examination rooms, shredded financial records, and a surveillance system that had been completely wiped clean. Dr. Marcus Holloway had vanished without a trace. Within 48 hours, the FBI added Holloway to their 10 most wanted list. The charges were extensive: conspiracy to distribute controlled substances, money laundering, healthcare fraud, and 47 counts of distribution of controlled substances resulting in death. If convicted, he faced life in federal prison. The manhunt for America's most dangerous prescription drug kingpin was about to begin. Dr. Holloway's disappearance wasn't a panicked flight. It was methodical, calculated, and years in the making. Federal investigators would later discover he had been preparing his escape since 2017, sensing the walls closing in around his deadly operation. 3 days before the FBI raid, Holloway had systematically withdrawn $2.80 million from various bank accounts using a complex network of shell companies. He possessed at least 4 different false identities, complete with social security numbers, credit cards, and driver's licenses. His escape plan was sophisticated, the work of someone who understood exactly how federal investigations operated. The FBI's response was immediate and overwhelming. Within hours of discovering his disappearance, Special Agent Jennifer Walsh's task force froze his remaining assets, alerted border patrol stations from Texas to Maine, and issued lookout notices to airports across the country. His medical license was permanently revoked. His face appeared on wanted posters from Virginia to Florida. The first major lead came from Miami International Airport. Security footage showed a man matching Holloway's description boarding a flight to Panama City using the identity David Mitchell. FBI agents raced to coordinate with Panamanian authorities, but when the flight landed, Mitchell had vanished into the crowd. The passport was a sophisticated forgery that had fooled multiple security checkpoints. For months, reported sightings flooded FBI tip lines from desperate families seeking justice. A doctor matching his description was spotted at a medical conference in Orlando. Another sighting placed him at a luxury resort in Cancun. Each lead demanded agents and resources. Each lead proved to be another dead end. The most promising early break came from a former clinic employee who claimed to have seen Holloway at a gas station outside Jacksonville, Florida. FBI surveillance teams descended on the area, monitoring hotels and medical facilities for weeks. They found nothing but false hope. After 6 months of intensive searching, the FBI task force faced a troubling reality. Dr. Marcus Holloway had successfully vanished, taking millions in blood money with him. The FBI assembled a 50-agent task force dedicated exclusively to finding Marcus Holloway. Working with DEA, U.S. Marshals and international law enforcement agencies, they would spend over $2 million pursuing the fugitive doctor across 2 continents over the next 2 years. Special Agent Jennifer Walsh, leading the Financial Crimes Unit, became obsessed with following Holloway's money trail. He had to be living somewhere, eating, paying rent, she later recalled. Money leaves a trail, even when you're trying to hide it. Her team traced funds through banks in the Cayman Islands, Switzerland, and Panama, slowly mapping Holloway's sophisticated financial network. Months turned into a full year of relentless pursuit. False sightings continued from across Central America, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras. Each required coordination with foreign governments, translation services, and careful diplomatic protocols. The fugitive seemed to stay one step ahead, moving frequently, never establishing patterns that agents could exploit. Then came the closest call yet. In January 2021, nearly 2 years into the manhunt, a hotel security camera in Panama City captured clear footage of a man who looked exactly like Holloway. FBI agents worked frantically with Panamanian authorities to coordinate a raid on the Hotel Continental. They breached the luxury suite at dawn, only to find it empty. Room service receipts showed the occupant had checked out just 3 hours earlier. But this near miss provided crucial intelligence. Forensic analysis of hair samples from the hotel bathroom confirmed DNA matches to Holloway. He was definitely in Panama, and he was living well. The hotel suite cost $400 per night, paid for in cash. The task force intensified their focus on Central America's luxury tourism destinations. They monitored high-end hotels, yacht clubs, and private medical facilities where a doctor might seek employment. Interpol issued red notices to 190 countries. Banking surveillance expanded to include cryptocurrency transactions and precious metals dealers. We knew he was out there, probably feeling safe and untouchable, Agent Walsh recalled. But we also knew that sooner or later, he'd make a mistake. Fugitives always do. It was just a matter of patience, persistence, and following every lead. On a humid Tuesday morning in March 2021, a routine banking alert in Costa Rica would crack the case wide open. The country's financial intelligence unit flagged an unusual luxury purchase, a $680,000 yacht bought through a shell company called Pacific Medical Holdings. The alert might have been ignored, filed away with thousands of similar reports. But Agent Walsh's financial surveillance network had programmed sophisticated algorithms to watch for specific patterns, medical-related company names combined with high-value purchases. Pacific Medical Holdings triggered every warning system they had established. Within hours, FBI financial analysts were dissecting the purchase with surgical precision. The money trail led through 3 shell companies and 2 offshore banks before connecting to accounts they'd been monitoring for months. The yacht buyer's signature on Costa Rican documents, analyzed by FBI handwriting experts, was a perfect match for Dr. Marcus Holloway. The yacht, a 52-foot luxury cruiser brazenly named Prescription, was registered to a marina in Tamarindo, a popular tourist destination on Costa Rica's Pacific coast. FBI agents immediately contacted the Costa Rican Ministry of Public Security, requesting covert surveillance of the marina and surrounding area. What they found exceeded their expectations. Not only was the yacht moored there, but hidden surveillance cameras captured footage of a man matching Holloway's description boarding the vessel each morning around 9 a.m. He had grown a full beard and lost considerable weight, but facial recognition software confirmed a 94% probability match. More surveillance revealed Holloway's predictable routine. He lived in a $3 million beachfront villa just 2 miles from the marina, driving a new BMW each morning to spend hours on his yacht. He appeared relaxed, confident, a man who believed he'd successfully disappeared forever and would never face justice for his crimes. FBI Assistant Director James Morrison flew to San Jose to coordinate with Costa Rican authorities personally. "This was our moment," he later said. "After 2 years and 16 days, we finally had him located, his routine mapped, his escape routes identified and limited. The operation would require perfect timing and coordination. Holloway was still dangerous, still wealthy, and still capable of vanishing again if spooked. But after 745 days on the run, the net was finally closing around the prescription drug Kingpin. At exactly 5:47 a.m. on March 28, 2021, Costa Rican special forces surrounded Dr. Marcus Holloway's beachfront villa in perfectly coordinated dawn raids. FBI agents, working alongside local authorities, had positioned teams at both his residence and the marina to prevent any possible escape attempt. Holloway never made it to his yacht that morning. Officers found him in his bedroom, frantically trying to delete files from multiple laptops while a police helicopter circled overhead. On his nightstand sat a loaded 9mm pistol and fake passports, but he offered no resistance when heavily armed agents ordered him to the ground. "It's over, Doctor," Agent Walsh announced as handcuffs clicked into place around his wrists. Holloway's only response was a quiet request for his attorney. The man who had caused so much death and destruction was finally in custody. The search of his villa revealed the full scope of his fugitive lifestyle. Investigators discovered $2.30 million in cash hidden throughout the house, including $400,000 stuffed inside medical textbooks, a twisted irony. 5 additional false passports were found in a wall safe, along with detailed escape plans for fleeing to countries without extradition treaties. Holloway's extradition to the United States took 4 months of legal proceedings to complete. When his plane landed at Richmond International Airport in July 2021, FBI agents and federal marshals were waiting on the tarmac. The doctor who had once saved lives was now facing charges that could end his own life behind bars. The trial lasted 6 weeks and drew national attention. Prosecutors presented overwhelming evidence: financial records, victim testimonies from grieving families, and recorded phone calls from Holloway's pill mill operation. On December 15, 2021, after just 3 hours of deliberation, the jury found Dr. Marcus Holloway guilty on all 47 federal charges. U.S. District Judge Patricia Williams sentenced Holloway to 25 years in federal prison without possibility of parole. "You perverted your medical oath to fuel addiction and death," she told him. "The 47 victims of your greed will never get justice, but this sentence ensures you can never harm anyone else." Today, Dr. Marcus Holloway sits in ADX Florence, Colorado's Supermax prison, serving his sentence alongside other high-profile federal inmates. The $15 eased from his operation helps fund addiction treatment programs for opioid victims. The prescription drug Kingpin's reign of death is finally over, and justice has been served.